Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and it is time for another episode of Lost. Let's unpack a couple of things that have happened in the last couple of episodes. One of the really fun things that I've noticed the writers have started including into these recent episodes is because the air date and the production date of these episodes is later than the date that the action is taking place on, they can be a little self-referential. In episode 15, there was a fun nod to the debut of the NBC show The Office, which was coming out just a few weeks after episode 15 aired. And in episode 16, during the chat between Christian and Sawyer in the bar in Sydney, Christian complained that's why the Red Sox never win the World Series. And of course, they won for the first time in 80-something years in October of 2004, a month after the plane crash. So, in fact, they were probably winning right about the date that episode was supposed to be occurring. So that's a really fun nod, because 6 weeks earlier in Sydney, no one had a clue. So I'm hoping that there's a few more fun nods like that scattered along as we go deeper, and the difference between real time and story time spreads more and more. That'll be fun to watch. But what I do want to talk about is that scene between Christian and Sawyer in the bar in Sydney. And while it's not my favorite scene of the whole series, I thought it was a really powerful one, and it was the first time that characters really interacted in flashbacks. Even though Christian's not one of the survivors, there's a real coincidence there that Sawyer ran into him. Yes, we did see Sawyer in the background during Boone's flashback in the Sydney police station, but they didn't really interact. This was a proper conversation. And it gave Sawyer knowledge about Jack that he didn't even necessarily realize until the end of episode 16. And at the time, I was really upset with Sawyer for not passing on Christian's message to Jack. You know, Christian was complaining, I could call my son and tell him that I don't hate him, that I'm not disappointed in him, that I don't feel betrayed, that I'm actually really proud of what Jack did by ratting Christian out and getting Christian fired. Christian actually took that as a real positive, and yet he wouldn't tell Jack. And Sawyer could have. And that bothered me at the time, but what I've been thinking about since is I wouldn't be surprised if Sawyer really hates Christian for what Christian did to Sawyer in that same meeting. Sawyer had the opportunity to kill who he thought was Frank Sawyer. He decided not to. It was echoed over and over in the episode that Sawyer is not a killer. He may be a con man, he may be a liar, he may be an asshole. He's not a killer. And he had that realization at the shrimp truck, and he chose not to kill Frank. Then he runs into Christian, and Christian persuades him that killing Frank would be good for Sawyer. And despite the fact that he's a con man and he preys on other people's emotions, Sawyer's proven that at least twice in that one episode, he's easily manipulated himself if you know his emotional buttons. His old partner, Pims, played by Robert Patrick, played him like a fool. Pims knew that Sawyer would want to hunt Frank down if he was the man that ruined his life. So he created that fiction and sent Sawyer off to kill a guy who just owed Pims money. That was it. He just used Sawyer as a hitman for hire, without even Sawyer realizing it, because he knew what buttons of Sawyer's to push. And Christian, unwittingly, but still, hit those same buttons for Sawyer and manipulated him. Maybe Christian thought he was doing the right thing, but after the fact, I can only imagine Sawyer felt doubly manipulated. Like he had come to the edge and he had turned around and walked away, and then he got persuaded to go back to the edge and this time jump off the cliff, you know, and now he's a murderer. And he doesn't even feel redeemed or justified, or he doesn't have closure. There's no benefit. Plus, there's all this additional weight on him now because he's a killer. There's no escaping it. For all his flaws, he's still got his own morality, and that morality includes thou shalt not kill. But he killed a man who did not deserve it, and he's going to have to wear that for the rest of his life. That's like Saeed told Charlie. Charlie will take what he did to Ethan to his grave. He will always carry that weight, even if it was justified, like Charlie's murder of Ethan was. That was justified, but Sawyer's murder of Frank, completely unwarranted, unjustified, manipulated. Sawyer's going to have to deal with that. So I'm interested to see how he continues to cope with that. You know, clearly he has issues with opening up and showing his emotional side or his vulnerability to anyone other than Kate. We did learn some interesting things in their drinking game. We've learned, aside from the fact that they both killed a man, we've learned that Kate was married for a short time. We've learned that Sawyer, if he's telling the truth, and I think he was because they didn't need to go into specifics, has never been in love. And one last thing about that meeting, that chance meeting between Christian and Sawyer in the bar. Christian told Sawyer that Australia is as close to hell as you can get without being burned. And no one seems to be coming back from a fun trip in Australia. It feels like everyone who was in Australia, especially all the Americans, well, no, scratch that. Everyone who was on that flight seemed to not be having a good time in Australia. You know, Jack was picking up his dead father. Kate was on the run and then arrested. Sawyer just killed a man. Boone and Shannon just probably messed up their relationship for the rest of their lives. Charlie's last chance at reviving his band has failed, and he's dealing with his drug problem. Everyone that we know, everyone whose reason we know for being in Australia was not in Australia for any fun reason. So in a weird way, they all got out of hell. You know, I'm not sure things are necessarily better on the other side, but they symbolically left hell. And yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. You know, even Claire, the one Australian that we're aware of in the group, it felt like her entire pregnancy was hellish. Sun and Jin, you know, Sun was on the verge of walking away from her marriage. Australia was hell for a lot of these people. Does that mean LA is heaven? Because anyone who's been to LA knows that's not the case. I don't know. I'm just, you know, and what does that make the island? Maybe the island's heaven. I don't know, but it's obviously not. You know, it's full of monsters and demons and whatnot. I don't know. Just sort of spitballing here. Anyway, it's time to watch episode 17. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you do like what I'm doing, please, and you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And let's get to it. This is episode 17 of season 1 of Lost, and it's called In Translation. Before I hit play, what year did the Scarlett Johansson Bill Murray movie Lost in Translation come out? Because this title feels like a complete nod to that. So I'm going to have to research that. Oh, right on the eye. Is that Jin's eye? That means it's going to be a Sun and Jin episode, I think. Is that Sun's dad?
자네 아버님은 이 결혼 대해 어떻게 생각하시나?
제 아버지는 돌아가셨습니다.
내 딸을 위해 자네가 뭐 할 수 있지?
뭐든지 하겠습니다.
내가 시키는 어떤 일도?
네.
꿈을 그렇게 쉽게 파는 사람에게.
Ooh, that was a test.
따님은 제 꿈이니까요. 아버님.
아니 뭐 하고 있어? 정신이 나갔어?
What's going on?
I don't know. He just walked up and started going off on her again.
Hey, I swear to God, you put your hands on her one more time.
네가 뭔데?
Oh. Well, there was some interesting subtext going on in there. Yeah, that wasn't just a simple slap. That was I'm slapping you so that this doesn't turn into a fight, but I understand what you're doing. Oh, and that's the father's watch. That's
저
right.
녀석하고 무슨 일이 있었어?
아무 일도 없었어요. 나 너무 행복해. 아버님이 살아계셔서 우리 결혼식을 보셨다면 참 좋았을 텐데.
어디에 계시든 기뻐하셨을 거야.
I wonder if we're going to learn more about his father. I feel like that's an important point that's been brought up in this episode a couple times already.
우리 신혼여행 어떻게 할 거야?
6개월 후에 경영수업도 마치고 가자.
아빠 자동차 회사만큼 나도 중요하잖아.
Dad doesn't appear to be a criminal. He has a car company. So how on earth did that episode where he came home all bloody with somebody else's blood happen?
Michael,
Oh wow, the raft's coming along.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry,
I think he gets it.
I stuck my nose where it didn't belong.
I don't want to get involved in husband and wife stuff, but I figured, you might need to relax. So,
He made a fishing rod.
come on, dude, I'm trying here.
You're doing great,
Okay.
Hurley. I'd go fishing.
You want to be an outsider? It's your business.
Well, how does a woman like you learn how to tie a perfect bowling knot?
By dating guys with sailboats. Maybe we should get some rope, spend a Saturday night alone together, and see what happens.
Oh, look at her getting frisky. Not sure he's used to that level of forward. I do wonder why he was in Australia, though.
Oh, you're making a lot of progress.
Yeah, trying.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk going on about what's going on in this thing with you.
I only got room for 4 people. It's one open spot. Feeling left out.
You taking Sawyer with you?
Yep. Bought myself a ticket on this little tub.
That's interesting. Fathers seem to be a really recurring theme in.
Raft! It's on fire! Look!
Whoa! Someone burned the raft. Oh! You don't stop on Locke unless you want to make us think he did it. Locke doesn't want anyone to leave. That just makes me think he knocked out Saeed too. Yeah, it's too far gone for Sand to do anything.
Where is he? Where the hell is he?
Oh, I think we're supposed to think it's Jin, but I think it's Locke.
Take it easy, man.
We don't know that Jin did this.
Are you serious? Sawyer, shut up!
Did he burn himself?
뭐 하는 거예요?
Oh, he did do it.
자네 숨진 얘기를 하려고 부른 거야.
여기 회장님의 메시지를 전하러 왔습니다.
제발 부탁합니다. 우리 딸 앞에서만은.
Hurley's on the TV, on a Korean TV.
하시는데요.
What is Hurley doing on it? I don't even care about this for a minute. What on earth is Hurley doing on a Korean TV ad?
이게는 당신께 드리는 선물입니다. 이게는 풍경 좋은 게.
He's just giving away his daughter's dog? And that became the dog that he gave to son. He's been given a second chance. But man, he's learning the power of intimidation.
Let me tell you about my sister. She likes older men, guys who can take care of her. She'll make you feel like the greatest guy ever while you get her food, whatever it is she needs. And when she gets what she wants, she'll move on. Don't take it personally, man.
Jin is definitely the loner of the group, isn't he? I wonder how long he's going to wear that bracelet. Is he going to have that on, like, the entire series? Oh.
Perhaps you should find another friend to help you with your shelter.
Man, he took that to heart.
You've been talking to my brother, haven't you?
Because if you do, like him, what's it got to do with your brother?
Yeah.
Everyone gets a new life on this island, Shannon.
Maybe it's time you start yours.
That's really his philosophy, isn't it? Everyone gets a new life.
Folks down the beach might have been doctors and accountants a month ago. But it's Lord of the Flies time now.
Somehow I don't believe Sawyer. Like, now that we know he's not a killer, I think he tries to act intimidating, but it doesn't necessarily totally sell.
우리 오랜만에 같이 저녁 식사하는 거니까 맛있게 드세요.
그래. 아주 잘했어. 오늘은 일 안 해.
Uh-oh. He's not going to get out. He's got to take that call. It's Dad.
여시로불 선에 본 줄 알아? 함령씨 집에 이 사람 데려주죠.
Oh, now he gets to learn what the real message is.
실험은 끄지 마시오.
That guy's not going to survive.
네가 일 끝나고
He's going to be killed.
한개한 관계로 갑시다. 알겠어?
So he's not a crime lord, but he's the dad's a criminal CEO.
내가 당신 목숨을 구했다는 걸 명심해.
Yeah, but you also like ruined yours.
여보.
Okay, now we're tying this in. Okay, so he didn't kill the man, but
도대체 아빠 밑에서 무슨 일을 하는 거야?
he doesn't want to tell her. Makes me realize I think Sun wasn't just divorcing her husband, but in a sense, she was divorcing her father too. I'm glad to see Jin have difficulty with this transition. Like, it's not an easy one for him.
Just calm down. Calm down.
You burned my raft? Why you burn my raft, man?
Calm down and think about it for a minute.
Back off, Jack. It's got nothing to do with you.
Shut it!
I like how they're playing that, so he doesn't even know what they're saying.
난 아니야.
You said something to me?
Michael? Michael!
난 아니야.
Hey, easy, Doc. One fight at a time.
He's right. This is between them.
내가 갔을 땐 이미 불타고 있었어.
Man, I don't like seeing that from Michael.
그러다가 내 손이 이렇게 된 거야. 손을 좀 봐.
Stop it! Leave him alone!
Oh. She's breaking out the English. Now everybody knows.
He didn't burn your raft.
Did she?
Was already on fire when he arrived. He burned his hands trying to put it out.
Why would he burn the raft?
He's been after me since day one. Everybody knows it.
Okay, it's personal. Why would any one of us block an attempt to get home?
Well.
You're ignoring the simple, undeniable truth that the problem isn't here, it's there. They've attacked us.
The others?
Sabotaged us, abducted us, murdered us. We're not the only people on this island, and we all know it.
He did not do it.
Man, not a lot of people are going to be trusting her for the next little bit. Including him.
You're gonna build another one?
Yeah, a better one.
Can I help?
No doubt you can help.
Well, at least
Come on.
these two are getting on now.
뗏목에 대해서 대답하기 싫어요? 나한테 이러는 이유를 모르겠어. 내가 뭘 잘못했는데 우리가 언제부터 이렇게 대화가 안 됐어요?
Wow.
I was going to leave you. I was going to get away.
Does he understand that?
처음부터 다시 시작하고 싶어.
Everyone gets a new life on the island. You don't have to be
여보,
an enforcer.
우리 새롭게 시작해요.
We still don't know why they were in Sydney to begin with. Is that his dad? He says his dad is dead, but... Oh my god. Father issues everywhere on this show.
용서하세요. 아버지가 부끄러웠어요.
Man. Does no one have a good relationship with their father on this show?
다시 시작하고 싶어요.
아니, 그럼 왜 다시 못해?
제가 하는 일이
You can
좋지.
start over on the island.
정의들은 제게 시드니와 LA에 있는 드론 거래처에 시계를 전달하라고 하셨어요.
그러면 이번 일을
so he was gonna quit.
해주고 다신 하지 마.
So what was his plan? That they were just going to stay in LA and never return?
어? 그래서 너희 결혼을.
Wow. She was going to leave him and he was going to leave her father. Like, her father really drove them apart. Oh. I had hope there until right then. Oh, man. The island's driving people apart. Boone and Shannon, Son and Jin. And it's bringing other people together, like Michael and Walt. Were father and son in name only, but now they've got like a proper relationship. And look at this. Love is blossoming on the island.
Everyone gets a new life on this island. I'd like to start now.
Got yourself an opponent?
Hurley owes me $83,000. I told him I'd give him a chance to win it back.
83,000.
I don't have $83,000.
That's okay. You have a dad?
Everyone's got a dad.
Yeah, but you grew up foster care.
Is he cool?
No. No, he's not.
Yes!
Good for you.
Luckiest kid in the world. Put it in your mind's eye.
If I ask you something?
Sure.
Why did you burn the raft, Walt?
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm not going to tell. You must have had a really good reason.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming.
I don't want to move anymore. I like it here.
Not everyone wants to leave. So does Locke.
I like it here too.
Wow. That's gonna be problematic if it ever comes out.
Boat.
Those two gonna become buddies?
Hey.
Oh, we get a Hurley musical episode. So Sun's on her own now. I'm fascinated about what Hurley was doing on that ad. Oh no, is his battery dead? Oh, I was wondering how long it lasted. A month. That's crazy.
Son of a bitch.
No. No more music other than Charlie and his guitar. Oh, what a bittersweet ending that was. Everyone gets a chance at a new life on the island. I mean, and obviously, you know, that was a recurring theme throughout the episode. You know, we learned that Walt wants to stay on the island. I still think Locke has no intention of ever leaving because he's no longer paraplegic. Sun got liberated in a sense in this episode. Kate doesn't want to leave, I don't think. Or at least she's torn, because if she goes back, she's in jail. You know, not everyone wants to leave. And that's why I thought it was Locke that burned the raft in the first place. He did a masterful job of deflecting the attention away from the survivors to Danielle and the others. But I thought he was doing that to deflect attention away from himself, perhaps. Not that there was any attention on him, but you know what I mean. Like, pointing it in a completely different direction. I feel like the writers have some daddy issues. I mean, we've even had an episode called all the best cowboys have daddy issues. Jack has daddy issues. Sawyer has daddy issues of a sort because his dad was killed early. Sun's dad drove a wedge between Sun and Jin. You know, Walt and Michael have this really fragile father-son relationship. Locke grew up in foster care, so he must not have had parents. Shannon's dad died, leaving her a stepsister in to Boone and his mother. It feels like fathers are a recurring problem for everybody here. I wonder if that turns into more, but fathers certainly have been a very big part of people's stories so far. Blink and you miss it. You wouldn't have seen Hurley on the TV in Korea. What was that about? I'm desperately curious. We've had 2 flashbacks for Sun and Jin, and we haven't had anything for Hurley yet. Come on, writers, like, give me some frickin' Hurley already. Man, I'm eager for some Hurley knowledge. Yeah, man. I love the show. It's so much fun. I wouldn't say that this was the best episode, just because I feel like sometimes the backstory was great in this episode, but sometimes the current timeline story doesn't quite measure up. And really, the only serious current storyline we had was the burning of the raft. You know, there was this small little B plot of Shannon and Saeed and Boone inserting himself in there a little bit, but that was a 3-beat story, and really didn't amount to anything earth-shattering in any sense. You know, obviously the bigger storyline was Walt burning the raft, but I'm not sure I get it story-wise. I just, well, I mean, let's face it, he's a kid that can make anything happen, so maybe he just burned it with his mind, for all we know. It just feels like a really dangerous thing for a 10-year-old kid to be doing at night. 83,000 Odin backgammon. It might just be a random number, but I'm adding it to the list because I'm writing down every number I hear, like you guys have told me to do. And I am going to watch the next episode. I'm going to watch episode 18, so stay tuned for that one next in a few days. And yeah, until then, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.